Hey Nadja, good to see you. You doing okay? Yeah, got something nice in the DAX today. Yeah, I'm doing good. Everything's going nice. Quite interesting moves in the dollar, which is getting my attention, especially after that hot ISM, but we didn't see any dollar strength. So I think there's a little pullback in the dollar building here. All right, let's get stuck in, Nadja. So bottom line is markets have gone from quite worried to all of a sudden reassured, and we've seen significant dip buying across US equity futures. The worry that the US was in a AI bubble is still there, but it's just faded a little bit, and the 2% drops in the Nasdaq has been halted. Now, if you look here, I just want to see if this is a bullish piercing line pattern. It's very close to one. Let's just put this here. How significant of it is. Now, not quite. For that to be a bullish piercing line pattern, we would have needed that close to be above the 50%. So it is a rejection, but it's not a strong one. Okay. However, if you take a look at it on the weekly chart, we see this 2 inside, that 3 inside bar up pattern. Harami inside bar break, and then that becomes that hot zone and that really strong support. So we're seeing that across the ES and the Nasdaq. So big picture, we are getting dip buying, and the US economy still doing well. ISM strong, employment index strong. We have had a surprise drop in the challenger jobs numbers that's getting attention today. Where was it? US jobs cuts jump 175.3% to a 7-month high. So that's a bit of weakness in the labor market, and that's just allowed that dollar weakness to accelerate today. Now, we saw the dollar try to push up yesterday. We had that really hot ISM. Yeah, okay, nice, Nadja. We had that hot ISM yesterday. Hi, Patrick, good to see you. We're just running through the macro picture. Just remind ourselves. Look, above maximum expectations, and everything was hot. The new orders, hot. The employment index heading up towards expansionary territory. And the prices paid hot. So ADP firm, prior revised up. So on balance, all of that is pretty good. So we've seen a decent print, and I was looking to sell the euro dollar yesterday on this, and we hardly saw any moves at all in the euro dollar. If you just take a look here, I just closed it out like minus 10, 11 points, was down here. This was the release. Hey, Patrick. So we saw that. Now, little trade I took, these hot zones I talk about, there was one here in the 1,500. And you see here, you can get away with like a 3-4 point stop. You can see that just broke through. That's a great trade that's still running there. Also in gold, there's another hot zone trade that I've entered in now. Just looking towards maybe stopping me out. But you see how you got this inside bar pattern, and it's an attempt to break out this trend line symmetrical triangle pattern as well. You see that's trying to move. So I'm going to try 3 times here. It's been faffing around this level all morning. And if I get stopped out, fine, right? I'll just accept it, but I'll re-enter again at the 4,007. That's that hot zone, and if you like, that's the breakout potentially of this level. Now it could be a false break, okay? And if we don't go above this, then it could easily be a false break, but it's an attempt at a breakout, you see. And that swing point high, that just becomes a real hot zone and a natural turning point. You can just see the way the prices consolidated here, right? It's just trying to show you that it's an important area. That point of control holding, potentially breaking now. Got that value area low here, but price sort of building up here and trying to break out higher. So we'll see what we'll get. The dollar weakness supporting gold higher. And that's just a little trade that I've got on the sides. Now, looking at that reversal in equity markets, very nice opportunity I can see in the DAX. I want to run through that with you. You can see volatility is lower. FTSE putting in a great day. China 50 Euro stocks are bullish engulfing bar as well. So there's 2 big price action signals here, one on the DAX and Euro stocks. Now, you take a look at DAX. Look at this on the weekly chart. So first of all, starting from the monthly. Indecision, consolidating above that swing point at the 23,000. Then you've got this Harami inside by a false break, sharp rejection higher. Okay. Then you've got this inside bar false break pattern on the weekly. So that's a massive support level. You can see here around the 23,000 that we just touched. Oh, Brian, did you catch that gold hot zone? I want to run that through with you. There's a nice hot zone there. Just let me know if you didn't catch it. I'll go back over it. Because I know you trade gold, right? That's a false break at that level, potentially on the weekly. So when you look at this on the daily, look what we got. We've got a big bullish engulfing bar here from support, rejecting that level there. So that's just, and in line with that hammer reversal. So hammer reversal, bullish engulfing bar. So I've been happy to enter in here. I'll go over it. Happy to enter in here in the DAX, right? Looking for a run back up to that 23,500, 400 region. So that's what I'm keeping on my radars. Gold, Brian, is in a hot zone. You know those hot zones where I say you can have really limited risk, right? We're right in one of those. First of all, look at this potentially symmetrical triangle pattern forming. Price trying to break out high. Three inside bar pattern potentially forming, right? Break at this level. Then I've got this level here, the 4,007, right, as my kind of hot zone, which is the mother candle break. So staying above this area, you can see here I've got this tiny stop in, like you know, a $5 stop, right, at 4,007, looking for this to potentially hold. Now, if I get stopped out, I'll take the hit, then re-enter at 4,007, stops at 4,002, because this tends to fly if it goes. Do you know what I mean? So if I get stopped out, fine. Just don't deal with any drawdown. Just get out and then re-enter back there, and then try up to 3 times. So that's the thing on do. Okay. Sorry, just someone sent me an information. Just 2 seconds, folks. Sorry, someone's just sent me a message. Just trying to sort them out. Okay. So that's what's going on with gold. So looking at the ES, sentiment is positive. Now on the hourly chart, right? Just going to make sure I've got the squawk on. We've had this break off this value area on the weekly. Okay, we've moved into it, we've held, we've pushed up, now we're having a pullback. Now sellers are coming back in. Now the area where sellers got trapped here at the 6827, but now sellers are trapping these buyers up here. So that's the near-term momentum. Delta is positive, but we're definitely seeing sellers trying to trap these buyers up here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Broadly speaking, still like the idea of buying, but definitely we need to see what's going on here. 15-minute, we've hit a value area in the 15-minute. We're hitting the VWAP, right? So not a bad area. So this is a good area for potentially rejoining longs if we get it. But at the moment, we're seeing prices dropping. And look, sellers have quickly come in and flushed all those gradual buyers up. So, you know, it's a good old illustration, isn't it? How markets go up the stairs and down the elevator, right? Slow moves up and a quick drop down. So if buyers come in and trap these sellers here on the 5-minute, I'll be happy to go long on that. I'm just seeing if there's no obvious headline that I saw on that. I see here, so those sellers got trapped. Let's have a look here. Right, so you can see sellers have got trapped there. We've hit this value area, but for now the sellers are coming down aggressively. So we're just going to wait and see how this develops. Looking at the big picture, TPO on the weekly, we're at the point of control, and on the daily, we're at the point of control. So we're back down to the point of control, decent in a fair value gap. So it's not an unreasonable area to find buyers. And if you look at the ES, we see we're trying to find support off this level. Okay. Yeah, great question, Patrick. Basically, they remain relevant for a significant amount of time. So I keep them on when they're obvious. So you see on the weekly, you definitely want to have the weekly ones in, Patrick, right? And then
small commentary here from the NBP Governor Lipinski. So is energy prices also a source of uncertainty?
What some people do, Patrick, is that they join the profiles together. So they might take a look at these two profiles and just join it together and have it as one profile. And I know on some charting programs you can do that.
Governor says we keep all options open on the rate direction.
Right. But otherwise, right, I'll just put them in. And definitely, I'd rather have them in than not, because I want to see, even if they price slice, I just want to see them. I just want to see who they are. So I keep it in for as long as it seems relevant. And that is basically in the the recent history, right? So along here, you know, all these levels here, I keep them as relevant. I just keep them there, move them across, just keep them moving along. So we are underneath the VWAP. Sellers have trapped all those buyers. So there's that value area up here that if price moves up there, you wouldn't be surprising to expect some sellers if we go back up and test these highs here. So there's definitely some pressure that's come into markets, and we're holding underneath that VWAP for now. Point of control on the daily. So we're also finding some decent support. We've rejected the 200 exponential moving average here on the hourly. So we've just had an obvious rejection area, and obviously buyers were trapped up there. So there's just been a sell-off. So I want to play this at the open and see how the market develops, but I'm noticing selling, sharp selling. Just want to see what's going on in the bond market. There's a bid into bonds. That's just helping the dollar go down because markets are looking at that challenger job cuts and saying, okay, the Fed will be more likely to cut interest rates. Now, pricing hasn't really changed, but I think it's a reaction from yesterday is that you couldn't see the dollar go up anymore on the strong US data. So I think it's just a natural pullback, and the challenger job cuts are just giving it a nice opportunity to do that. Now, the other thing here is Bank of England has met, right? They didn't cut interest rates. They weren't expected to. There's a 77% chance of a December rate cut. Let's just check the Dixie. Big resistance level. So technically it makes sense, doesn't it? Some kind of pushback there. And we've got a retest of that potential trend line there. Big round number as well. Big resistance level. So a little bit of a pullback here just makes sense. We'll have to see what goes on. There isn't a whole lot of data. US administration still shut down. So the Fed's data dependent. We're not having the data. So it's just going to be tricky. Now, what was I looking at? I was looking at something. What was it? It will come back to me in a second. Yeah, okay. So we've got 12 minutes to the open. Definitely selling pressures come in just before the open. Buying back down from these lows does make a lot of sense. The last sort of chunk of sellers that were trapped here. So it looks like we might be getting a sell before a buy later. That's what I'm kind of expecting. Maybe a drop down to this level and then further buying. If we get back under this level, then it's further selling back down to the 6,780. We'll have to see. We'll just be guided by the 15 and the 5. For now, sellers are in control and holding under the VWAP. And we're underneath this value area. Momentum still moving low. I see sellers here trap those buyers. So you could see a case of a sell here. I'm just going to take a gentle sell just with those sellers trapping these buyers. Oh, are they trapped? I don't think they're quite trapped, are they? I think they're quite trapped. Right, just getting out of that. Now, let's see if I get anyone trapped here on the 5. I'll try a little short. I'm out of that short. I don't want to wait for that. We weren't quite trapped on the 15s, if I thought we were, so that just changes it. Right, let's have a look here. Up above the VWAP, then longs are on for me. 2 minutes, 4 seconds. I'm going to be guided here on the 5. I want to see if these buyers can come and trap these sellers, then that would be enough for me to go long because it's starting to move the other direction. Let's have a look. So buyers trying to come in. Can they trap any of those sellers? 29 seconds, back up to the VWAP. 14 seconds. Point of control has now moved here. Staying under the VWAP. So sellers still have it. Just going to wait for some direction here. Just wait for some clear direction here. 5 minute. There's absorption going on. So sellers are trying to build up there. In the fair value gap, point of control, I do like it for buying here. I will take it on the 5 minute if I start to see these sellers getting trapped here and we go back above the VWAP. So I'm looking to see if we can move above the VWAP here. How long we got to the 5? I've got 1 minute 13 to the 5. I'll see those sellers getting trapped there. 1 minute 2 seconds. You can see the tick chart, VWAP point of control holding. So what we want to do is we want to get above here, above the 6822. That'll be the trigger. Just waiting. I do see your point. I guess, yeah. If I can get those trapped, I'd try it. Is it? I just want to get rid of that. I'm just going to get rid of this for a second. It's going to be academic. Looks like we're going to go below this. Now, getting these buyers trapped here, I'd be happy to go short. And then maybe thinking of building in longs from the 6795. Yeah, so maybe a quick flush down here would be good. Let's see. It's flat. There's nothing going on, is there? I think we're in a funny place in the market because we want to be data dependent, but we haven't got the data. Now, we've got some Fed speakers coming up. We've got Williams at 4, Hammock at 430. Right, and have a quick short there. I do like that. That looks like it's going to have just flushed down, doesn't it? Just as those buyers are getting taken out, see if I can get a rush down to that level. Yes, there's a bit of a run down there. I'm out. Just want to take the quick run down. And then if we get retracement back up here, look for another selling opportunity. You can just see there the way the delta was just coming in so strong, and then those buyers got trapped here. Just a good opportunity to have a quick short. And we've got that value area underneath, so the chances of moving from there down to there is quite high. So, okay, taking a quick opportunity. So watch out for buyers coming in. This is the lows of the day, right? So, got to be careful that we're not going to break down through that, and at some point, sellers are going to start building in. A lot of delta coming in negative. That would be great to start seeing these folks get trapped later on, right? So, you can see some basing action here, great. Otherwise, what we currently have, 15 trying to trap these. We're in the lows of the day, delta building negatively, but we don't want to be selling into that support.